That Saturday in July 1835 was like any summer day, bright and sunny. Farmers at work in the field noticed the air was so humid it was difficult to breathe. Men laid down their scythes in the hay lot and took refuge under trees to rest from the heat. The horses and oxen were restless, as were the cows in the pasture. In the late afternoon, the wind began to stir in the southeastern part of Shenango County, growing stronger as it swept northeast into Madison County. It was early evening, and the residents of the area were going to bed when the thunder blasted across the hills. The wind grew steadily stronger and wailed like a banshee. Trees began to crack like musket fire and crash to the ground. With giant fingers, the wind began tearing at the puny homes and barns in its path. The air was thick with flying debris. A small boy in Pharsalia, New York, lay sick in bed. As the windows shattered, the wind carried the child on his mattress through a broken window, depositing him safely in the yard. He looked back to see his home torn to pieces a minute later. In Brookfield, New York, Reuben Palmiters' family was preparing for bed. The house suddenly began to quiver on its foundation as lightning cracked like cannon fire. His wife Celinda huddled in bed, crying that the end of the world was near. Reuben thought the house had been struck, but looking out the window, the landscape was brightened by burning trees that had been set on fire by lightning. He shattered a window with his fists, seized the baby from the crib, and crawled out into the yard with his family. The wind was increasing in fury. Shingles and roof boards from the house showered about them and went skipping across the yard. The family lay flat on the ground as the rain beat down, soaking them to the skin. They clung to all that was left of fence posts as all hell seemed to be breaking loose around them. All that was left of the house was the swaying chimney. The storm lasted nearly an hour. In the morning, it was learned that a tornado had swept a path a mile wide across the hills and valleys. Thousands of people flocked to the area to look over the destruction. The only thing Reuben found of his home was a glass tumbler he had placed on the brick oven that afternoon. Celinda's handkerchief was found neatly tucked in an upturned tree half a mile away, while other debris from Brookfield was found 5 miles away. A herd of cows was surrounded by an almost impassable barrier of fallen trees, and when cut out of the way, many dead cattle were found. Hundreds of livestock were killed, but if there were any human lives lost, history has not recorded it.